Thank you very much, Lala. I love that name, by the way. And so now I'm live both places. Well, I have found that there's been some sort of issue with getting live on in I mean not touch any buttons to make anything go berserk. Um, in Zoom, and I'm having an issue of doing it. James, I'm going to send you an email, a little kind of blurb about what I had contacted you earlier about. So I want to check in and see how everybody's doing. I'm glad everybody is doing, staying in their bubble, doing what you got to do. I know that I just received that notification that the stay is till the end of April now, right? April 30th, whatever day that is. I don't know. So that for the state, so this is just for the state of Michigan. So it's been extended till April 30th. So that's it. I had my earbuds in my ear and just went screaming in my ear. It was like, oh my gosh, that hurt so bad. So just thanks so much for joining me again today. I know that we talk about a lot of different things, and I do definitely talk about feelings, emotions, the metaphysical, and good, Sean. Great. I'm glad you're doing good. That makes me super happy. Today, you know what I want to talk about? Actually, I did talk about this like a few years ago. So if you go back and you see all these videos and you check them out, you'll see I have a bunch of different water around me. How I talk about how I don't really like hope. Hope is kind of useless. Hope is something into the future. Hope is never in the present moment. Hope is way out there, never now, always a projection, never a reality. Hope is something you may strive for. It could be a goal, it could be an idea, but for the most part, I do like the idea that hope is here, and you really try and work on what you have here to do it. And so a friend of mine got a hold of me and said, oh, well, I feel kind of hopeless. I'm like, good. I'm glad to hear that, because that means you're on the level of accepting where you're at and accepting that you can do something, because you don't have an unrealistic idea of who you should be or how you should be. And I really want to apply that to right now. You should never have an idea. I mean, you should never, I'd be like, your idea of just accepting peacefully where you're at. Now, I do talk a lot about Byron Katie. She's my number one jam. And to dwell in the peaceful moment is to dwell in peace. And if you can make your moment peaceful, you can extend that moment and make it more peaceful. So how do you do that? How do you do that? Now, one of the things you have to do that is just not imagine and not create, but maybe, because you're not there, like to use your imagination, because that's how you're going to step into the metaphysical, right? But maybe you do it by just looking to the things that you appreciate, looking to the things you can hold on to, so one of my practices, so there's what is your spiritual practice? Hi Laura, hi Ken, hi Nona, hi Sheila. Hi Sheila, how are you today? I'm sending you tons of love. Karen, Jessica, oh, so good to see you, Jessica. When I wake up in the morning, I don't say, oh, well, I try not to. Let me just say this. I try not to say, oh, I wish I would have gotten more sleep, or, oh, I wish I could go back to bed, or I usually will wake up, maybe not even open my eyes, keep my eyes shut. Just try that. Keep your eyes shut. I just start to get into the flow. Oh, thank you so much for this bed. I love my bed. Thank you so much for this house. I love this house. Thank you so much for my kids. I love my kids. Thank you so much for this. And just try and start to get into the moment where you're unwrapping your unfoldment of your moment, of where you're at right now. Thank you for allowing me to see how I can forgive somebody. Thank you for bringing this moment in front of me that I can see, I can expand into who I am. Thank you for this. Thank you for that. And then we to start to see it. Then you can turn and go, my kids, my blah, my, who knows, your truck, your car, what you're doing, what your discipline is, what your meditation is, whatever it is, you can begin to shift into that flow. So you get out of the negative flow and shift up high powered into a bigger flow. So, which kind of brings me here. It's an interesting thing. And I know I'm not really ready to announce kind of what I'm sort of, I'm always an open book, and I usually just share ideas maybe before they're ready to be shared with the world, where a lot of people will say, well, then, Janie, you have this, you have that, you have this, and all of a sudden my ideas can be knocked down, and then they don't have much power and oomph behind them because I've listened to other people decide what would be a good thing for me to do. And I've done that a lot in my life, and I bet you can really, really appreciate that, because I'm sure you have as well. So I'm not really ready to announce what I'm doing, but what I am doing is I am building a global community. I'm not giving the ins and outs, but this is community. This is why I'm doing these COVID-19 talks on the daily, so that we can talk about the metaphysical. Who knows? I mean, channeling has happened when I've done this. Things have happened that have been important. People have gotten messages. So I trust this process, and I trust that you're here as well for the process. And it's okay. So that's what I wanted to say about that. So this is community. You're here in a community and being a part of connecting back to your breath. That's kind of what I would do. This is connecting back into your breath to find those pieces where you begin to know yourself a little bit more. And I've been finding this, and maybe you found this as well, is I have found that that my understanding and some of the things that have been coming out since I've been doing this, since we've had no choice but to do these, isolated at home sort of thing, and physical distancing and stay home to keep everybody safe, is I've been noticing where I tend to kind of freak out, and I never really allowed myself to do it before. I mean, sometimes we're just in the space of reacting to life that we're not moving forward with how we can proactively assert ourselves in life, which is the smarter way to go, like proactively asserting ourselves, asking for help, being a part of what's going on. So I've been finding out more and more how these little pieces of our stay-at-home order has been affecting me in different ways. So I'm curious, have you been finding ways that you're seeing, uncovering who you are or where you're feeling or what you're feeling, that you're like, ooh, that's right, I haven't wanted to feel that, or I've been thinking that I didn't really want to think about that. Now here I am thinking about it. I'm not a big fan of it, but I'm noticing it. It doesn't mean you change anything. It doesn't mean anything. Things shift. The moment you see something, it shifts. But it doesn't mean you have to do anything. I just want you to notice these things coming up. Notice they're happening. Noticing how you feel. Again, here I am in the feeling thing all the time, right? Every time. How you feel is important to getting. Sorry, my kids were asking something. How you feel is important so you can figure out how your guidance system is really reacting. Is it reactive? Is it proactive? Are you a bee without a community? Are you looking for a community? What is happening that you can support yourself in your space right now to make it actively better? That's why I do these every day. Well, that's one of the reasons why I do these every day. Second reason, I don't want you to forget about me. My gosh, I want to just get out there and do groups galore once we're done, because I was looking at I have a lot of coaching clients, and I love coaching, but I also love getting out there and doing tons of group readings, and I have a clear schedule. So I'm okay. Well, not totally clear, but but I definitely, hi Kissy, I definitely want to get out there and do some tons of sessions. So again, Lincoln, I can totally hear you, Bear. Okay. Did you say you don't care? Huh? Okay, well then I would. So without community, you can't go far. Community is so important, and how you support yourself in reaching your community is incredibly important. So it's really, I want you just to be thinking about where you're at, how are you supporting yourself in your community, and how are you moving forward? Well, here's the funny, Nona, I'm so glad you're asking me that. Group readings for on Zoom. I was trying to get onto Zoom today and I was having some issues. I need to, oh, hi, Ruth. I need to do it on a different computer. So I have to just check. I'm hearing my sons over there. So I have to check on my Apple and then because my daily work, I use Zoom and Zoom is not recognizing my other accounts because I need it for my my everyday day in, day out position. So I also want to, let's see what else. What else do we want to talk about today? How about we do some readings today? Yes. So get your aunts, get your uncles. Sorry. Get your kids, hold them close. Let's do some sessions. Let's do some readings. Okay. Just I'm just going to do a little mini reading. Can you guys hear my kids? Oh. I hope not. Okay. Ooh, so I just am getting really overwhelmed with a real feeling of nausea. It's not mine, so let me just. Wow, everything just keeps crashing over here. So this is kind of what happens when spirit comes around. So let's just let me see here. So I need to talk about okay, I have a mother energy coming forward here. I have I don't know if I've said this name before because it sounds really familiar. It's like a I keep hearing like some like a Magdalena. This seems like Polish descent. I'm having Polish descent, and M on it even could be on the husband's side. If it's not on your side, it's going to be on the husband's side. And I want to talk about him. Excuse me, I want to talk about her because I just want to say the M name that's Polish. And she's showing me, wow, she might even be like a great grandmother because she's showing me a rural landscape looking out with like lots of shrubberies and stuff. Donnie, can you get kicked for donating? Okay. Oh, Nancy Ray. Hi, Janny. I just such a great experience with you since seeing you in December. My mom has gotten acquainted with biological family at 94. Wow. At 94, you unexpectedly brought my grandmother to me and my grandson, who we were expecting. Long story, but you have confirmed. Oh, that's so. Okay, Mary. So there's a mother-in-law. There's two mother-in-laws with the M names. Mamu. Is that Polish though? Because it would not surprise me if there's a whole bunch of people coming forward. Because I just want to. So the three of you have already come forward. I want to just. I need to talk to. I just want to talk. Okay, there's going to be the message is going to be all. If it's take with it what you can, because I am seeing pictures being taken out and growing up. And growing up in a very like fieldy with rocks and going outside and playing, like a lot of Tony or Mary or Nona, does this person live through World War II, or was there a lot of fear? Because I just got a lot of fear, just racial, right? And yours was Polish too? Oh my gosh. As soon as I'm done here, you're done. Oh, please answer quick. Oh, that's Dan's grandmother. So who would have been like in the who would have been very afraid during World War II and maybe had to like run for their lives, because they're showing me this escaping. And they're showing me escaping. I mean, it could have been in Sweden too. That's all right, the right area still. So, okay. Tony or Nancy or Tony, Nancy. Tony or Nancy. Are you guys still there? Okay, well, I guess I think you've had enough of, I know that people want more ratings. I'm getting like a lot of like internal pressure here. So, I just have to say this. They're talking about, you were going through older pictures, and they're saying that they're also talking about their homeland as being very idyllic and really this whole thing just completely. Oh my gosh. It just went completely. If I'm still live on Facebook, would you please tell me? Just all of a sudden kept telling me that something went wrong. Okay, well, there. All right, so I just want to say, she's talking about there. It's like they're making me feel like my mother, and that there was like a lot of, maybe didn't have a ton of money, but they had money enough to support what they needed. But like a lot of love for the land, a lot of super important things that happened along there. But I do feel a fear that she may have needed to escape. So I just want to talk about that. I also want to talk about the, I am still live. Thank you so much. I also then want to talk about, because I have a female energy here. So she feels like a friend, and I feel cancer around her. She may have had she had either a breast cancer that metastasized, something like cancer that went everywhere. And it makes me feel, she's showing me being a friend. And she's also making me feel like her name starts with an H. I see that. She keeps showing me a picture of a plant, but I don't know what it is. I don't know. So I want to talk about that. I also want to talk about, she's coming forward. And one of the things she's saying is, what is she saying? Okay, so it's so interesting. She just showed me being in a dress, and she also was it's interesting because one of the things she's showing me is she's showing me twirling in her dress as if everything. So what normally would happen if I see somebody dancing, I think, oh, well, you had issues. She's not really dancing. I don't know if she had full-blown issues walking before she passed. She's making me feel like something was wrong with her legs, though, and it was harder for her to move. So she's talking about that. She's making me feel like, oh, you'll forget who I am until later. That's what she just said. So the person who she's for will go, oh my gosh, it was her. Okay, so I just want to. She makes me. She's incredibly playful, fun, almost a best friend energy. Really like, just so just a wonderful, wonderful individual on this earth. That's what she's showing me. And she's very proud of her life, actually. Okay, I have to say that. And let me see. So it's like a grandmother energy, and she's showing me going through um, like having to I need to talk about the woman that was given water either by sponges on her lips, like she couldn't really. She's showing me people taking either like ice chips and putting them so that they would melt in her mouth, or like kept doing that. And she's also showing me she's making me feel like the feelings in her mouth was gone. So it's very specific around her face and how she actually was eating things and how she really moved. And she's showing me having a really hard time swallowing and a hard time like being really dehydrated and not feeling incredibly good. So this actually feels like a grandmother energy. And there's lots of like, I held hands. She's keeps showing me holding hands and thanking you so much for being a part of her life. And she does like, she makes me feel like everybody kept wanting her to eat and she just couldn't. It was part of her like transition process, and it was hard for everybody to accept. And she's saying it's okay, and that she's on the other side. And she's also showing me so she's showing me my sign and symbol for like either a lot of scarves. She's showing me scarves or like something that's flowing in the wind. So there's like, I don't know if you've been flying a kite lately, if anybody went outside who's flying a kite or doing like things outside to that nature. Cause it makes me feel like I was right there with you as this, it almost feels like a trash bag. Just see, it's like something that was just floating in the wind in a really very beautiful, majestic way. She makes me feel like a very, very beautiful lady from the inside out. So I just want to give those messages. Not a lot of stuff. Plus, I've got to tend to my children and let them know that they're done. So do not start another game. Yeah. And then see light, be light. And get on my schedule before I just go bananas, okay? And I will see you here tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Ciao. Bye. Ciao, ciao. Bye.